Saturday marks World Teen Mental Wellness Day. It aims to raise awareness and spark conversations between parents and adults and their teens. And Dr. Holly McKenna with Dara Wellness joins us now to explain how to start those conversations, because it's not easy with teenagers sometimes.
It's so not easy. My daughter's almost 12, and I feel you. I feel you.
Where you're getting to that age. Mine's 5, and I feel like it's a bit chaotic in my house sometimes. But to get those conversations started, you always hear about trying to be a safe space. And that feels a little easier when they're younger. But when they get to that teenage age, they want their space. So how do you still show them that you're safe?
Yeah, this Saturday is such an important day because of the adults who are going to have a mental health diagnosis in their lifetime. 50% of them have symptoms by the time they're age 14. So
wow.
We really need to be checking in with our kids. And like you said, it can seem daunting even when you're their parent, because you ask, how was your day? Fine. Do you like that? No. The very short answers.
Sure.
So you do have to be a little strategic. And so there are steps you can take. One thing is to meet them where they're at. So look at things that interest your teen. Are there things that you both are interested in? Like, do you really enjoy going to Pels games together, or doing certain crafts, or walking and exercising? And if you can engage in those type of behaviors together as kind of your setting for a conversation, then they'll be more relaxed and more likely to open up. Check yourself and realize teens are so good at telling if we're not being sincere. Like they can just sniff it a mile away. This is part of why I love working with teenagers, because they call you out on it. And hey.
So you're not getting anything past them anymore.
No, you've got to be truthful and honest and genuine. So, if you're having a conversation about their mental health and you're concerned about it, say, listen, I'm nervous about this. I'm anxious about this. I want to check in, and just own it. If you observe behaviors that you're worried about, take note of those and try to be specific with your teen, like saying, I noticed that you're staying up a lot later,
Sure.
that you don't have as many friends calling you, that you're not eating as much. Is this because you're feeling down, or are you feeling anxious about that stuff that's happening at school? And mentioning those specific things will open up the conversation a little more than having just the I'm fine and yes, no response.
Give them an opportunity to expand or kind of highlight something you see or might think is going on.
Yeah.
And give them an opportunity to acknowledge that.
Right, and remember, their brains are developing, so give them time to respond. A lot of my practice, I was saying this to you, of teens and young adults, is just waiting them out. So there's going to be some silences, and that's okay. And allow for the silence, because that's their brain processing, and it takes a little time. So allow for them to kind of process things. If they're really having a difficult time, or you're having a difficult time connecting in a way that makes you feel like you understand how things are going, you can try a simple rating scale. Like saying, 1 to 2 is you can't get out of bed, maybe we need to be going and seeing someone. And 9 or 10 is like the best day ever. And where are you? So, if you're like at a 6 or 7, maybe talking about what's going on that made it come down to that, and then talking about what maybe lifestyle things we can do to address that, whether it be better sleep hygiene, or eating more regularly, or going outside. And then if it's more the 3 to 4 range, talking about maybe we should talk to a therapist or your school counselor.
Sure, like if a parent or even a teacher maybe notices that a teen is not doing well, maybe they do open up to them, maybe these conversations go well in that you do find out some information and your teen does need help. What's the next step there?
Yeah, so I say to look at the range of time that they've been experiencing things, and then the severity.
Okay.
So if you have been stressed and not sleeping well, and maybe not eating well, but you're still able to take care of yourself as a teen, or still engaging with friends, and maybe just not engaging with mom and dad, but still kind of getting out there, and it's only been a couple weeks, that's when you get into the lifestyle changes, the better sleeping habits, the decreasing screen time. But if it's getting in that severe space like you're talking about, where you're talking about killing yourself, or talking about hurting yourself, or the life isn't worth living, you don't want to get out of bed, that's when you do need to reach out. And so there's the crisis line, the lifeline, the 988. Teens can text that themselves. There's teen crisis lines. There's trans lines for our trans youth. All of these are resources. There's also just the school counselor. I mean, I that's always a good place to start if you're unsure. That's why they're there. You can reach out to your school and get resources from them. They can get specific local resources for you. And then there are counselors if you feel like you want an evaluation for something that maybe is more maybe medication or accommodations, then reaching out to a psychiatrist like myself. But there's definitely resources. You're not alone in this.
Yes, for sure.
Again, as a mom of a young woman who's becoming a teenager, I feel you, and you're not alone.
Dr. Holly McKenna, thank you so much. You're not alone, but you do have to try and talk to those teens even when they don't want to talk back. Thanks so much. We're showing